Okay, let's take a look at our next task, which is to get the home page isolated outside of our navbar and just use it as a starting point and give us an opportunity to click a link to take us to our activity dashboard. And let's take a look at what we're currently doing inside our app.tsx. So our navbar is always going to be displayed, our container is going to be displayed, and it's just our routes that are getting replaced by what happens when we navigate to one of these routes. And we want to take our home page and stick it outside of this container under navbar so that it displays on its own. So it's not as simple as just cutting this and then pasting it above the navbar, because the navbar's still going to be displayed. We're only changing what's displayed inside this root component if we do it this way, and not the rest of this content. So if we take a look at this, then it doesn't make any difference. We're still seeing our home page alongside the navbar as well. So, okay, so that's not going to work for us, but what we need to do is add another route, and we're going to use another route to render this content based on an expression. So what we do is we'll add another route inside here, make it self-closing, and inside here what we can do is give it a path, and we're going to set the path equal to an expression, and we're going to add apostrophe / and then parentheses, and we're going to add a period and say plus. And this means that any routes that match the / plus something else is going to match this particular route. And then instead of rendering a component here, we can use a render method, and we can pass in a function, and we can tell it to render effectively everything else. Now, we've got two elements here, the navbar and the container. So what we're going to need to do is put this inside a fragment. So we'll use the fragment shortcuts, and then what we can do is cut the content here, the navbar and the container, paste it inside there, and reformat. And what we should find now is that our home page loads on its own. When we click on a link to go to the activities, then we load up whatever route it is we're going to. In the case of clicking on a link from the home page, that's going to be our activities. But let's just open the home page first so that we have a link to click on. And just underneath the H1, we'll just add an H3 tag, and we'll just say go to. And then what we'll do is we'll add another element, and we'll get the link from React Router DOM. And we'll specify to equals, and we'll say / activities. And inside the link, we'll just have text saying activities. And let's give this a go. So we'll head over to the browser, and we can see that our navbar has disappeared. And if we click go to activities, then we load our activities, and it looks good. Well, almost. We've still got a tiny bit of cleanup to do because we're still seeing the flicker. We're starting to see activities, and then we're going to see our loading indicator. So we'll fix that next.